SLT offer ගොඩයි අවුරුද්දම සුබයි සුබයි.
SLT අලුත් මෙගා ලයින් කනෙක්ෂන් වලට 50%ක දීවන. තවත් ඔෆර් ගැන දැනගන්න 1212 අමතන්න.
Searing heat, scorching heat experienced across the island. Minister of Power delivers relieving message, says power cuts to only last until the 10th. Too soon. Opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa says it's too early to reveal the presidential candidate. Highlights that more talks should be held with the president and the SLP. Burying the truth. Proposed counter-terrorism bill under scrutiny. National Alliance for Lawyers Association says it is a way to silence those who stand up against corruption committed by the state. Much more coming up on First at 9 this Sunday, the 7th of April 2019.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and welcome to First at 9 on AdaDerana 24 Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katharina Chang. Now we on to your top story tonight. The hot weather experience across the island is to continue till the 15th of this month as the sun is directly positioned over several areas across the island, including areas of Jayala and Ganemulla. Meanwhile, Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ravi Karanayake today said that the power cuts will only last until the 10th of this month. However, it is reported that reservoirs used for power generation has not yet received sufficient rainfall for the past 2 days.
Due to the direct placement of the sun over Sri Lanka, the country will experience searing heat for 10 days until the 15th of April. Accordingly, the sun was positioned over Nalluruwa, Bellapitiya, Bothale, Kahavatta, Kandurugalla, Konkatiya, Habassa and Domagahawela this noon. According to the meteorological department, the sun will be directly positioned over Jayala, Ganemulla, Anguruvella, Dambagolla, Ambanporuwa and Kottagoda tomorrow. The highest temperature recorded in the island during the past 24 hours was from Vaunia, which was a scorching 37.4 degrees Celsius. Temperatures in Kurunegala was 37.3 degrees Celsius, with 33.2 degrees being reported in Colombo. Owing to the prevailing dry weather condition, Minister of Disaster Management Ranjit Maduma Bandara says that preparations have been made to assist those who are likely to be affected by the extreme weather.
ලංකාව පුරාම දිස්ත්‍රික්ක 25ම හදිසි ආපදා තත්ත්වයට මුහුණ දෙන ආපදායක අපි 25ක් හදලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවල පොලිසියේ සිවිල් ආරක්ෂක දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව ඒ සඳහා සූදානම් කරලා ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම දැනටමත් අපි දිස්ත්‍රික්ක 13ක අවශ්‍ය බීමට ජලය දැනට අපි සපයාගෙන යනවා.
Meanwhile, rains were experienced along the eastern slopes of the central hills during the past 2 days. According to the Department of Meteorology, thunder showers will develop today at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and western provinces, as well as in the districts of Ampara and Batiklo. Reservoirs used for power generation, however, continue to experience insufficient rainfall. In the meantime, Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ravi Karanayake says that the current power cut will only last until the 10th of this month.
වාදනය කරනවා වගේම අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ 10 වෙනිදා රැයට පසුව ආයිත් විදුලි කප්පාදු කිරීමක් ඇති නොවෙනවා. අහිංසක ජනතාවට ආයිත් කවදාකවත් මෙවැනි තත්ත්වයක් ඇති නොවෙන්න කටයුතු කිරීමයි අප මේ අවශ්‍ය කරගෙන යන්නේ. කොතරම් ප්‍රශ්න තිබ්බත් අපි විදුලි බිල වැඩි කරන්න ඉඩ දෙන්නේ නැත.
The 52nd national ceremony of the New Rice Harvest Festival was held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena in Anuradhapura today. Now, as per tradition, paddy farmers offered their maiden harvest to the sacred Jayashree Mahabodhi to invoke blessings for successful cultivations. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe also participated at the national ceremony today.
It is widely believed that the Rice Harvest Festival came into being after the sapling of the sacred Jayashree Mahabodhi was brought to Sri Lanka from India. As per tradition, paddy farmers from across the island gather in Anuradhapura to offer their maiden harvest to the sacred Bodhi tree in hope to invoke blessings for success of the harvests in both Yala and Maha seasons. The maiden harvest is brought to the premises by holding a grand procession, which is then poured into a large golden-coloured monk's bowl. The first batch of maiden harvest was poured into the bowl by Atamasthanaadhipati and Chief Sanganayaka of the North Central Province, Venerable Dr. Pallegama Sirinivasa Thera. Paddy farmers across Sri Lanka then joined in to fill the large bowl with their maiden batches of rice harvest. The pure honey bowl, which is traditionally offered to the sacred Jayashree Mahabodhiya, was then handed over to the president by the leader of Sri Lanka's indigenous tribes, Uruwarige Vanila Atto.
මේ සිංහල රජ කාලේ වගේ ආපහු මෙරට විවගා කළා විදේශ විනිමය ආරක්ෂා කරන්න අපේ DS සේනායක මැතිතුමා ආරම්භ කළා. ඊට පස්සේ ජයාජයවර්ධන ජනාධිපතිතුමා ආරම්භ කරපු මහවැලි ව්‍යාපාරයෙන් සිංහල රජ කාලේ නොකරපු වාරි මාර්ග ලංකාව ඇති කළා. මේ සම්ප්‍රදාය අනුව වර්තමාන ජනාධිපති මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මැතිතුමා මොරගහ කන්දෙන් විශාලම ජලාශය ආරම්භ කළා තියෙනවා. ලංකාවේ වැඩිම අස්වැන්නක් ලබාගත්තේ කන්නකට මේ අවුරුද්ද කියලා මම කියන්න කැමතියි. ශිෂ්ටාචාර විතර නෙමෙයි ආර්ථිකය. ඒවෙන් විශාල ලාභ ලැබුවා. කොච්චර ලාභ ලැබුවද කිව්වොත් සමහරට එකෙන් රජවරු දෙපාරක් තුන් පාරක් බදු ගත්තා. ඉතින් ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම දැන් ආණ්ඩුවට දොස් කියන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා මතක තියාගන්න පරාක්‍රම බහුල රජුත් වැට දැම්මා කියලා.
Meanwhile, the inauguration ceremony of the 12th Scout Jamboree was held under the patronage of President Sirisena at the CNI National College of Education at Veyangoda yesterday.
මම දෙමව්පියන්ට කියන්න ඕනේ අපි මේ අලුත් වැඩපිළිවෙලක් හදන්නේ පහේ ශිෂ්‍යත්වයේ අවලංගු කරලා අටේ ශ්‍රේණියට අලුත් විභාගයක් තියලා මේ දරුවෝ ලෝකෙම ජය ගන්න විශිෂ්ටයින් බවට පත් කරන්නයි. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා කලා උපාධිය අරගෙන රස්සාවන් ලිල්ලලා පාරවල් වල ഘോഷණ කරන ඒ තත්වයට උගතුන් පත් කරන්නේ නැතුව මේ අධ්‍යාපන ක්‍රමයේ තිබෙන කළ යුතු වෙනස්කම් කිරීම සඳහා තමයි නව ක්‍රමයක් පිළිබඳව මා යෝජනා කරන්නේ.
The delegation of the United Nations Subcommittee on Prevention of Torture engaged in an inspection tour at Vavuniya today, where they visited the army camp, a police station as well as the Vavuniya prison. The delegation, headed by Victor Zaharia, will be in the island till next Friday to examine the treatment of people deprived of their liberty and a safeguard in place for the protection against torture and ill treatment. The 4-member delegation will also meet government officials and hold discussions with relevant ministries in order to advise and assist the Sri Lankan authorities regarding the measures they must take to be in compliance with the obligations contained in the optional protocol to the UN Convention Against Torture. The Indian Defence Secretary Sanjay Mitra arrived in Sri Lanka for a 2-day official visit earlier this evening. It's been reported that a delegation of 7 members had also arrived with the Defence Secretary. During the visit, the Indian Defence Secretary will hold bilateral discussions with President Maitripala Sirisena, Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando, Chief of Defence Staff Admiral Ravindra Vijay Gunaratne, as well as the commanders of the tribe forces. Meanwhile, opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa stressed that a presidential candidate will be announced only after discussions are held with the president and others from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Speaking to media following the event in Kurunagala today, the opposition leader said that it is still too early to nominate a candidate, and the public's view too plays an integral role when it comes to fielding a candidate.
අයවැයට මොකද වැඩි බෞද්ධරයක් ඉන්නවා කියලා කිව්වා එයාට නෑ අපි එහෙම කිව්වේ නෑ බෞද්ධරයක් ඉන්නවා කියලා අපි බෞද්ධරයක් ගන්න බලනවා කියලා කිව්වා ඒ වගේම අපි අයවැයෙන් තුලින් එකක් පරාද කරපු මිත්‍ය මතක තියාගන්න අමාත්‍යංශ දෙකක් පරද්දුවා පරද්දලා පෙන්නුවා ආණ්ඩුවට රතු එළියක් ඊළඟ ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂක හැටියට ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහතාව පත් කරන්න නෑ තාම අපි තීන්දුව කළා නෑනේ අපි ජනාධිපතිවරයයි අපි ඔක්කොම එකව වෙලා සාකච්ඡා කරලා අපි ධ්‍යාන අපේක්ෂකයා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම දිනන අපේක්ෂකයා නැත්නම් අපි කියන්නේ බෑනේ කට්ටිය ඔක්කොම එකව වෙලා පස්සේ තීන්දුව ගන්න අපි ජනතාවගෙන් අහනවා වක්‍ර විදියේ සහයෝගයක් දැන් අපි කතා කරනෝනේ සාකච්ඡා යනෝනේ.
President of the National Alliance for Lawyers Association, Attorney at Law Manoj Gamage, says that the proposed counter-terrorism bill is a way to silence those who wish to take action against fraud and corruption committed by the state. Speaking at a media briefing today, the association pointed out that certain articles proposed in the bill will deem those who divulge confidential information against the state as having committed an act of terrorism.
අපි දැක්කා පොලිසියේ විශාල පිරිසක් එකතු වෙලා ව්‍යාපාරිකයෝ දෙදෙනෙක් ඝාතනය කරා. එහෙව් කර පොලිසියට මේ පනත් කෙටුම්පතේ 24 වෙනි වගන්තියේ කියනවා සැකකරුවෙකු උන්ට තියෙනවා දෘශ්‍යමාන වෙන තුවාල තියෙනවා නම් මේ තුවාල ටික චෙක් කරන්න දෙන්නේ පොලිසියේ ස්ථානාධිපතිවරයාට. ඊට අමතරව මේ පනත යටතේ ගන්න පුද්ගලයෙක්ව සති දෙකක් රඳවා ගැනීමේ නියෝගයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් මහේස්ත්‍රාත්වරයෙකුට නෙමෙයි නඩුකාර්තුමෙකුට නෙමෙයි නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පතිවරයෙකුට. මාධ්‍යවේදීන්ටත් මේන් තර්ජනයක් මතුවෙනවා. එක එක මාධ්‍ය ආයතනවල තියෙන විවිධ විමර්ශනාත්මක වැඩසටහන්. මේ වැඩසටහන් මගින් ඉතා ප්‍රබල ලෙස මේ රටේ දූෂණ වංචා හෙළි කරනවා. මේ රටේ පොලිසියට හොයාගන්න බැරි වැරදි මේ මාධ්‍ය ආයතන හොයා ගන්නවා. විගණකාධිපතිට හොයාගන්න බැරි වැරදි මේ රටේ මාධ්‍ය ආයතන හොයා ගන්නවා. මොකද මේ රටේ ජනතාව මේ මාධ්‍ය ආයතන ගැන විශ්වාසය තියලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ ප්‍රතිදස්ත පනතින් ගේන තවත් වගන්තියක් තමයි යම්කිසි අවස්ථාවකදී රහස්‍ය තොරතුරු වෙනත් අයෙකුට සැපයීම ත්‍රස්තවාදී ක්‍රියාවක් වෙනවා. එතකොට මේ වැඩසටහන් වලට තොරතුරු ලබා දෙන පුද්ගලයන් ඇතැම් අවස්ථාවකදී මේ පනත යත්‍රේ ත්‍රස්තවාදී පුද්ගලයන් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් මේ පනතේ තියෙන ඇතැම් වගන්ති වලින් මේ ආකාරයෙන් තොරතුරු ලබා ගැනීමත් ත්‍රස්තවාදී ක්‍රියාවක් විදියට සලකන්න පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙනවා රජයට.
Lamenting the safety of parliamentarians, UPF MP Bandu Gunawardena says that he hopes to inquire about the current progress of investigations against several MPs from the Criminal Investigation Department and the Commission to investigate bribery or corruption. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo, the parliamentarian also said that he will also make a complaint at the Inter-Parliamentary Union over the baseless allegations which had been filed against the parliamentarians.
ලංකාවේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ පසුගිය කාලය තුළ 2015න් පස්සේ ලෝමේ කරලා නීතිය හදන අය ටීමේකට වඩා පහළ තත්වයට ඇද දමලා තියෙනවා. දැන් බලන්න පක්ෂ නායකයෝ කී දෙනෙක් විපක්ෂයේ හිරේ දැම්මද? විමල් වීරවංශ, උදේ ගම්මන්විල, මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ ඊළඟට නාමල් රාජපක්ෂ මන්ත්‍රීතුමා මෙහෙම නෙමෙයි දැන් හිරබාරයට ගැනීම කරලා තියෙන්නේ පොලිසිය පරණ නඩුවකට අස්සම් කරන්න ගියේ නෑ කියලා සනත් නිශාන්ත මන්ත්‍රීවරයා. කතානායකතුමා කිසිම ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව වෙනුවෙන් ගත්තේ නෑ. එනිසා මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා අල්ලසා දූෂණ කොමිසමේ සභාපතිවරයා හා අදාළ බලධාරීන් හම්බ වෙලා මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීවරු හොරු කියලා තියෙන වංචා කළයි කියන පැමිණිලි විභාග කළා මොකද්ද තියෙන ප්‍රතිඵලය ඊළඟට මම අඟහරුවාදට මම යනවා අපරාධ පරීක්ෂණ දෙපාර්තමේන්තු මේ පිළිබඳ මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා අන්තර් පාර්ලිමේන්තු සංගමයට පැමිණිල්ලක් කරන්න.
An individual was arrested in Kandakati over the possession of a locally manufactured firearm without a license. The arrest was made at a raid conducted at the Kahalgora village in Mahayala, Kandakati this morning. Police spokesperson SP Ruwangudasekara said that the arrested 58-year-old male will be produced before the Badula court tomorrow. Let's now take a look at some other stories making news across Sri Lanka.
Strong winds which appeared to move in a cyclonic motion was witnessed at the Sivali playground in Ratnapura yesterday. The phenomenon lasted for 25 seconds during school sports meet. An awareness campaign on the dengue menace, which was jointly organized by the Public Health Department of Colombo Municipal Council and the religious sites in the CMC limits, was held at Sri Vikramapura in Mattakulia recently. A Pirit chanting ceremony was also held in line with the awareness campaign. Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be conducting a mobile consular service on the 10th and 11th of this month in Batticaloa. Mobile consular service will take place at the Divisional Secretariat of Kathankudi on the 10th and the Divisional Secretariat of Chenkaladi on the 11th. In addition to the provision of consular services, the mobile service will also feature activities pertaining to the economic diplomacy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
And with that, we cross over to a short commercial break, but make sure you stay tuned for more news on the other side.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is AdaDerana 24.
Sri Lanka's apparel sector, which has an ambitious export target of $8 billion by 2025, is working to expand its global footprint by aggressively competing in emerging markets and widening its presence in non-traditional countries. Speaking to the government's official news portal, Secretary General of the Joint Apparel Association Forum, Thuli Kure highlighted that the sector is vigorously exploring upscaling market access with a bigger share in emerging markets such as India, China and Brazil. Last year, apparel exports grew 5%, while an annual compound growth rate of more than 6% is expected to be achieved this year.
Emphasizing that traditional markets play an important role in generating foreign exchange, Secretary-General of the Joint Apparel Association Forum Thuli Kure said that 12% of the country's apparel exports go to other continents. He also went on to say that industrialists will be encouraged if more government support is given in terms of facilities and recognition. Kure further added that the main challenges faced by apparel industry are the dynamics of the labour market, as no helping hand is given to the industry by policymakers, while present level of trade reform lacks forward-looking policies for the apparel sector. The Secretary-General went on to say that negotiations are currently underway with the government to minimize transactions with state agencies, mainly with regard to apparel exports. Further requests have also been made to make all documentation processes on online basis and reduce human intervention in import and export activities.
Market analysts expect low market activity in the Colombo bourse owing to the upcoming festive season. During the week, the All-Share Price Index gained 1.515%, while the S&P 20 edged up by 0.13%. We now have Viruni Pereira from First Capital Holdings with the weekly forecast.
We expect market to be on more positive note with increased investor confidence with passing of final reading of the budget. However, we expect activity levels to be comparatively low with the festive season being around the corner. We also believe that foreign buying interest is likely to remain in the market. However, investor interest is likely to be in the blue chip counters. Monday will be a critical day with monetary policy being announced in the evening.
Well, we have the latest on the Maldives election up next, but make sure you stay tuned right after this commercial break.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is AdaDerana 24.
The provisional results of the Maldivian parliamentary elections show that Maldives President Ibrahim Mohamed Soli's party is heading for a historic landslide victory, a move that will help him to investigate the scale of debts to China. With 85% of ballot boxes counted so far, candidates from Soli's Maldivian Democratic Party led in more than 60 out of 87 constituencies. The party's leader, former President Mohamed Nasheed, also won his seat in a newly formed constituency in the capital, Male. Nasheed promised to use his party's mandate to usher in a new era of stability and democracy in the Indian Ocean archipelago as it emerges from years of political crisis and corruption scandals miring the governments and judiciary. The comprehensive victory was another rebuke for Nasheed's arch-rival, former President Abdullah Yameen, who was dumped in a shocked election defeat in September under a cloud of corruption and embezzlement allegations. Yameen did not contest, but his party, the Progressive Party of Maldives, ended with a poor showing and is projected to secure only 4 seats in parliament. It has been 25 years since over 1 million Tutsis were killed in the Rwandan genocide of 1994. The country will mourn for 100 days, the time it took to thousands of lives to be massacred.
On the 6th of April 1994, a plane carrying then-President Juvenal Habyarimana, a Hutu, was shot down, killing those on board. Hutu extremists blamed the Tutsi rebel group known as the Rwandan Patriotic Front. They, however, denied the accusation. In a well-organized campaign of slaughter, militias were given hit lists of Tutsi victims. Thousands were killed with machetes in acts of appalling brutality, with little done internationally to stop the killing. The UN and Belgium had forces in Rwanda, but the UN mission was not given a mandate to act. This led to Belgium and most UN peacekeepers pulling out. The genocide killed about 1/10 of the population, who were mainly minority Tutsis, killed by ethnic Hutu extremists. It was owing to the efforts of the current President Paul Kagame did the gruesome genocide of 100 days came to an end. The commemoration ceremony began today with the lighting of the flame, which will burn for 100 days at the site, where 250,000 victims are said to be buried. A number of foreign leaders, mainly from African countries, are expected to show their solidarity for the victims. Belgium Prime Minister Charles Michel, who will represent the former colonial ruler of Belgium, too is expected to be present. French President Emmanuel Macron, who is part of the panel of experts to investigate France's role in the genocide, however, will not attend the activities. France was a close ally to the Hutu-led government prior to the massacres and has been accused of ignoring warning signs and training the militias who carried out the attacks.
Greek police clashed with groups of migrants and refugees camped in a field close to the country's northern border, hoping to cross to neighbouring countries and travel onward to northern Europe yesterday. Riot police fired tear gas at dozens of people, some with children in their arms, who threw stones and bottles as they tried to break a police cordon and reach road leading to the border.
Hundreds of people had arrived at the field next to the migrant camp of Derana near the border with North Macedonia last week to set up tents after they were prompted by reports on social media of plans for an organized movement to cross Greece's northern land border. About 100 tents were pitched in the field, which was heavily guarded by police. People refused to leave despite calls by officials to return to accommodation centers and warnings that onward travel would be impossible. Tens of thousands of refugees and migrants, mainly from Syria, Iraq and Afghanistan, are left stranded in Greece since Balkan countries shut their borders in 2016, closing the main passage towards northern Europe.
Mahanama College retained the Aravinda De Silva Challenge Trophy for the fourth consecutive year, beating DS Senanayake College by 7 wickets in their 13th Battle of the Goals limited over cricket encounter yesterday at the R. Premadasa International Cricket Stadium. Electing to bat first, DS Senanayake College scored 215 runs all out in 49 overs. In reply, Mahanama College chased the victory target in just 46.1 overs with 7 wickets in hand. Former world number 1 Victoria Azarenka reached her first singles final in 3 years by defeating top seed Angelique Kerber at the Monterrey Open today. The Belarusian beat Kerber, another former world number 1, 6-4, 4-6, 6-1. She now faces Spain's Garbine Muguruza during the finals in Mexico. The 29-year-old last contested a singles final in April 2016, winning both Indian Wells and Miami within 2 weeks before announcing her pregnancy later that year and giving birth to son Leo in December. She returned to the sport competitively the following summer, but has been involved in a custody battle with the child's father, which has reportedly impacted her career. And with that, we conclude this edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening.